Yes, people, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another match reaction. I'm going to be reacting to the game between Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, which took place yesterday, and it's still refreshing in my mind. Like, I'm still so excited about that game because it was so refreshing to see how comfortable we were in that game, how we actually dealt with that game with ease, without any stress, no issues. We went about the business easily, no issues. We used the squad well. Like, there was squad rotation, 5 people. I think almost 5 players were dropped yesterday, and not just 5 players, 5 key players were out of the game yesterday. They were dropped by the manager yesterday, and we couldn't even feel the difference because it felt like there was no drop off. Everything was still the same, and it was even better actually because, like, I think Mikel Arteta actually got this one spot on yesterday because it was a fantastic performance by the team. Like, I love 2 goals from Martin Zubimendi and 1 goal from Victor Gyökeres, which was a fantastic performance from them. I actually loved that performance because, like, it was so refreshing to see how we went about that game. There was no point in that game where I was actually feeling scared, like we're not going to win the game. There was no point in that game where I was actually feeling like it's I don't think there was any point in that game where I felt nervous. Although before we scored the goals, we were missing chances. We were creating Noni Madueke was actually ripping off that defender. I don't know what happened with that defender, but I think next time that defender tried to come against Arsenal, he's not going to play against Noni Madueke because, like, that game is one hell of a game for him to forget. It was absolutely fantastic by the team. I'll go into the game now, and the game started yesterday, and it was absolutely magnificent. That performance yesterday was one of the best I've seen so far in a while. And considering the fact that Nottingham Forest have just had a new manager, although he's not had enough time to gel with the team, he's not had enough time to instill his new principles in the game. But you could see how before, when we play against a manager, a club who's got a new manager, it's always difficult for us to break them down loud because, I don't know, most times we find it difficult. We struggle with a 2-1 win or a 1-0 win, or sometimes we are usually not ourselves when we play those type of teams. But in this time around, we went about business. We didn't even care about the manager. We went well. It was actually absolutely very, very good. And I really loved that performance from the team. It was absolutely magnificent. I really enjoyed it. And going into the game, there's one part of the game, one player that actually stood out yesterday for me, like, that actually blew my mind off yesterday, was Noni Madueke. I hope those people that were actually criticizing him, I hope their criticism should be as their praise should be as loud as their criticism, because, like, 90% of the fans actually never wanted him. To be honest, I think when the news first broke that Arsenal was actually going for Noni Madueke, like, I felt we don't really need him. But to be fair, at that time, everyone wanted a striker. But the priority at the time, we needed a striker, and we're spending that amount of money to buy Noni Madueke. That was one of the things that actually raised the eyebrows for everyone. Everyone was like, why are we paying that amount of money when we've not been able to sort out Victor Gyökeres? This is typical Arsenal. Everyone was going out. But the one that actually got me angry, more frustrated, was those ones that were actually bringing out petitions against Noni Madueke. But by the way, I think that's their mentality. But I hope now they've seen the benefit of having a good squad player who is Noni Madueke, who is actually going to fight for his place, because it's not going to be easy. I think this will actually make Bukayo Saka raise his game more. I think it will make him raise his game more, and you can see the benefit of having a good squad, because we had there's no difference. There was no difference in the levels. The levels didn't drop. There were so many times whereby I was seeing Noni Madueke going 1v1 against his defender, and he was actually beating him every time he goes 1v1 with the defender. which was actually refreshing to see. And another surprising thing that I saw was his corner kicks. Like that, the corners he was actually taking in that game was absolutely, like the consistency in those corners that he had in that first half was absolutely spectacular. Because like you could see, he was actually hitting a particular spot every time he had that corner in the first half. It was hitting that spot, and he was actually playing the corners into the dangerous part of the defense, which was actually good. To be honest, I really enjoyed his performance. For me, Noni Madueke, that was actually very, very good from Noni Madueke. To be honest, like I was in shock with what I was seeing from Noni Madueke. His performance was like the way he was actually gliding with the ball, the way he was driving with the ball. It was so nice to see. It was so refreshing to see. I really enjoyed that performance from Noni Madueke yesterday. It was absolutely brilliant from Noni Madueke. And another player that actually struck. To be honest, the whole team yesterday was so good. Like the composure from the defenders, from the goalkeeper, everyone that had everything to do. They did their job professionally. The game was so controlled, no issues. Like there was, although we had some times whereby we had some scrappy moments in the defense, whereby I think there was one time that we had a scrappy moment where Chris Wood almost mistakenly scored a wonder goal, actually, because I think that was a scrappy ball and it came into his chest. No one can actually tell me that he did that intentionally, because I think he was actually trying to chest the ball, but unfortunately he chested, because of the ball was actually awkward. He chested the ball and he went towards the goal. And at first I didn't even know that Raya actually saved that, but when I watched the replay and I noticed the fingertip save, it was that fingertip save that took the ball to hit the crossbar, which actually I think that was actually a very good save by David Raya. And also one player that actually stood out for me was Zubimendi. His performance in that game was brilliant. Zubimendi was awesome in that game. He knew when to turn up. There's one of my videos that I did, one of my first videos that I did, where I said Zubimendi is that kind of player that knows how to that knows how to speed up the game when he needs to and slow the game down when he needs to as well. And he actually did that in that game yesterday. When the game was a bit chaotic, he controlled the tempo. He controlled the tempo of the game. Like the way he controlled the tempo of the game, the way he was hitting those passes into the right channels, the way he was actually dictating the midfield. And that goal he scored yesterday reminds me of one player called Gaskia Mendieta. That goal was actually a Gaskia Mendieta special. If you remember Gaskia Mendieta, that's how there was one he used to. I think he used to play for Spain. Then that was a Gaskia Mendieta special. It was a very brilliant goal from Zubimendi. One time short. I said him in my match preview. I said one key thing that we need to play against a low block team, especially when we're playing against teams like this. We need to hit the ball quick. We need to pass the ball quick. We need to make the ball quick, because all those sideways passing that we're doing, like it makes the defenders, it gives the defenders enough time to set. If they're out of position and you pass the ball quickly, it's difficult for them to think. They don't think very fast when the ball is being played in a very fast pace. And I saw that yesterday, because there were times whereby we needed to speed up the game. We speed the game up in time, and we reap up the dividend of doing that, actually, because you could see that in that second goal, because of that pass from Ricardo Calafiori. This is the second time he's giving that kind of pass. The first one was against Leeds, and this one again now. And unfortunately, he passed the ball to Eze, who actually timed his run perfectly, because he was like very close to being offside. But because he timed his run very well, like it was that pass he passed the ball well. No, the one-time pass from Ricardo Calafiori and the movement from Eberechi Eze, it was so precise. It was so precise. I just like the way Eze released the ball on time. Before, nine times over 10, throughout last season, many times in last season, that pass from Eze will go through the ball without anybody being there. but we had a striker who was there. That's why you need a very good striker. That second goal actually typifies why you need a very good striker, because he's always there at the right time. He knows how to sniff danger. He knows where to be at the right time. And the touch was the pass was immaculate, and the finish was just creeps. That's what you want from your team. That's why you pay that kind of money to. That's why you pay a lot of money to get the best, because that was an absolutely wonderful performance by the team yesterday. Gyökeres in the first half. There was one time in the first half where he was actually very quiet. He was trying to get into the game. That point, there was one time in the game I was actually, oh God, I hope Mikel Arteta is not going to be a flop in this team, God, because he has not had a single touch in this game. Like he's not been there. He's not been in the final third. Like the ball is not getting to him and all that. I was worried about the creativity and all that. But one thing he did was when he got into the game, he started to link up well. He started to do some wonderful layoffs that we needed from a striker. He started to combine well with the midfielders. Started to drop deep to get the ball and pass it to the right spaces. And in the second half, I think he came out. In the second half, I think he came out like a man on fire, because his second half performance was absolutely brilliant. There was one time in the second half, apart from the goal, there was one time in the second half where he I think he started a move, and he ended that move. There was one that move that he ended, that shot that he took that hit the crossbar was absolutely spectacular. Because, like, you know, one thing I like about Mikel Arteta is when he's in that kind of position, one thing that comes to his mind is shoot. He doesn't even think about passing. He does not think about releasing the pass to anyone, all those things like that. The first thing that comes to his mind is just to score. And that's what you need from a striker. If it's like a Gabriel Jesus, that kind of boy, he want to cut back, pass back, or cut one, cut two, cut three, look for the best chance to score. No. If you look at that chance again, when he had that opportunity, when he got into that position, the first thing he did was to pick his spot. He looked at the goalkeeper, looked at the post, and that's when he hit that shot. That shot, the way he struck that shot, even me watching the game from the TV, I heard that sound like someone has struck a missile. That was actually to be honest, that game was actually, like, I really enjoyed that game. To be honest, the joy I felt in watching that game was absolutely decent. Was refreshing. It was a refreshing performance by the team. I really loved that game, to be honest. And the bad part about the only down part of that game yesterday was when Martin Odegaard got injured. I've said it all along. I don't know what the relationship is with Arsenal and Locke. I don't know. The relationship between Arsenal and Locke is, like, to be honest, is terrible, because our records with injuries, this season is even worse. Like, this season is worse. We've started this injury. Every game we've played this season, one player has always gone down injured. I don't know what's happening. One player has always gone down injured. Every game we've played this season. Every game. The first game we played, Kai Havertz had an injury after that game. It was during the game, but it was after the game that it was announced that he had the injury. The second game we played against Leeds, Bukayo Saka, and we lost Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. Against Liverpool, we lost William Saliba. And this game again, Odegaard, who was actually recovering from the injury, went to Norway, played well. No injury when he was playing for Norway. He came back to Arsenal. Now he's injured again. I don't know what's wrong with Arsenal and injury. I don't really know. It was that, but nevertheless, that's why you need a good squad. This is where you are seeing the importance of a good squad, because as soon as he got injured, Mikel Arteta brought in. No time to waste. If it was before, Mikel Arteta would try to manage him. He want to play the game to the end. But now there was no time. As soon as he felt that injury and he couldn't carry on, like, Mikel Arteta just had to bring him out and let the young lad take his opportunity, and in come Ethan Nwaneri. When he came on, this is the second time he's actually coming in for Odegaard, and we've raised the level. Is there a coincidence? But to me, I just felt like he was actually very good. He did everything right in that game, apart from one. There's one thing I just need him to do, improve on. Just those final passes. He does everywhere until he gets into the final third. And I would really like to see, you know, those kind of passes, those kind of true passes that you see from a midfielder. That's what I need him to do. He needs to learn how to I think he needs to learn how to give that final pass, those dangerous passes. That's what I want to see from him. He's very exciting. He takes you off your seat when he's actually on the ball. Like, he's so exciting to watch. If in Waneri, and he was actually good. It was actually very good in that game. And then one player again that is actually blowing my mind again, apart from Noni Madueke, is Christian Mosquera. Oh my God, Christian Mosquera. Jesus. How have we gotten that guy for 18 million pounds? Like, I don't understand. How did we get that guy for 18 million pounds? It's an absolutely, like, I think like we've just gone to rob Valencia for this guy, because Jesus, he's just too good. He is too good, oh, he's too good. The way he was defending, the chances, the way he was actually, like, there was one clearance he made in the second half with his head. Like, he knows how to. He knows where to be. His positioning very good. He's also very good on the ball. He's very good 1v1. He was very good 1v1 against any striker. Like, the way he dealt with, the way him and Gabriel dealt with Chris Woods. Wow. That was an outstanding performance by Christian Mosquera. There was no time in that game I missed. There was no time in that game where I was actually like, I wish Saliba was in this game, or this thing wouldn't have happened. No, there was no time in that game. He was absolutely good. Like, he was brilliant. He was God. Wow. Like, there's everything about that game was absolutely brilliant. Like, I can keep on talking because the game was so refreshing to watch. Like, even if when I start to remember about to go back to the game, just to reminisce about the game and all that, it was decent to watch. It was like, you know, when you're so comfortable in the game and you even forget that you're watching the game. That's what happened yesterday. It was everything about that game was interesting. It was not even boring at one point. Like, it was actually very good to watch. And one last thing I need to talk about is Eberechi Eze. Eberechi Eze is an opposite of what we've been. It is exactly what we've been crying about for a left winger. There was one point in that game, I was actually seeing what Martinelli was suffering every time he's on the left hand side. The ball is always going to the right hand side. I don't know why the team is just designed to always play towards the right hand side. I think the team is designed to play towards the right hand side. But when the ball gets to Eberechi Eze, he knows what to do at the right time. He knows when to pass the ball. He knows when to dribble. He is so calculated. He's so matured in the way he plays the game. Like, his maturity, the way he beats his man, the way he beats him, the way he glides through the ball, the way he glides with the ball. There was one time there's this drop of the shoulder type of dribble that he does. So brilliant. Like, Jesus, like, I think like that's what you need. That's what you need about an experienced player. He's so experienced. He's so mature the way he plays the ball. And that assist for Victor Gyökeres. One time, if it was Martinelli, he would control the ball and want to try and dribble. But this time around, as the ball was coming, he took the ball into the 18. He looked into the box and he saw his man. That is the way he links up with Mateta when he was at Crystal Palace. That is exactly the way he links up with Mateta when he was at Crystal Palace. No. That was an outstanding performance by Eberechi Eze. I really love that performance by Eberechi Eze. He was actually good, and he has actually not really had time. I think this is the first full training session he had with the team. The last time, I don't think he had a full training session. I think he had only one training session with the team, but this is the first full training session. When he gels with the team properly, I think we will see like what we are going to see with this team. God, I can't wait for this team to. I think there's more to come with this team. I think there's absolutely more to come with this team, because the talent in this team is just too much. The talent in this team, like, how am I enjoying this as an Arsenal fan? Like as an Arsenal fan, like you enjoying this kind of thing. Like this is what we want now. Make me enjoy ball like this. Make ball is sweet. Teta. I love it. And the manager was actually very good. I think I like the way he rotated. I used the squad and all that. It was good. Now this takes me into my player rating. I'll be going into the player rating for that game between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. In goal, David Raya. He didn't really do much. He didn't really have much to do in that game. He didn't do too much. He was actually, but one time he was called upon. That fingertip save. Wow, that was absolutely brilliant because that would have been a goal because that ball was actually goal bound. The worst case, it will hit the crossbar, hit the goalkeeper at the back and go in. That's what will happen. But he did well. One time that he caught. That's what you need an experienced goalkeeper for, who's actually like he doesn't lose concentration. He's always there, even if he doesn't have enough time to. But when you are called upon, you do your job. For that, I'll give David Raya a 7 for his performance because he was good. Only one time he was called upon. He reacted very, very well to that situation, and his kicking was good. His passes was good as well. The way he coordinated the defense was good. I'll give David Raya a 7/10. Juren Timber was very, very good in that game. He was actually, the way he was actually, like his combination with Noni Madueke, like the way he was combining with the defenders as well. He's defending 1v1. The way he held, like the way he made Hudson-Odoi anonymous, because one thing about Nottingham Forest, they are very good at their transition, and the way he dealt with Hudson-Odoi. For that, I will give Juren Timber. I'll give Juren Timber a standard 7 as well because he was very, very good. He was solid in that game. Juren Timber, I'll give him a 7. Ricardo Calafiori. I'll give Ricardo Calafiori a 7 as well because he was actually good. But the only bad part, I think he had a yellow card in that game. Yeah, I think he lost his man and he tried to drag him. I think that foul that he committed made him get that yellow card. For that, I'll give Ricardo Calafiori. I'll give Ricardo Calafiori a 7 because he was part of the defense that kept the clean sheet. He didn't really do too much. No, sorry, I remember. I'll give Ricardo Calafiori a 7, I'll give Ricardo Calafiori a 7. I know he also made an assist for that game, which was actually very good. I love that assist. That is what I want from him. That is what you want from your defenders. One time pass. I think he's very good at those passes. For that, I'll give Ricardo Calafiori a 7/10. And to the centre back pairing, Christian Mosquera, I've said it already before. I think he's very, very good. He's a very good backup for William Saliba. The way he played in that game, we didn't miss Saliba. There was no point in that game where we missed Saliba, which was actually very good. I love that from Christian Mosquera. His defending was good. He made his tackle very well. There was no collision he had with Juren Timber, but his recovery to take that ball away to stop that attack was very, very good. I will give Christian Mosquera, I'll give him an 8. His partner, which was the captain of the game, the skipper of that game after Martin Odegaard left the pitch, Gabriel was absolutely decent in that game. I think he was the leader of the defense. He was actually leading defense. He led that defense very well. The way he led that defense to keeping that clean sheet was very, very good. I will give Gabriel 8 because of the clean sheet and the way he led that defense. That was very good from them. And the midfield pair, I'll start with Martin Zubimendi. I think TNT gave him the man of the match for the game, because of his 2 goals. That first goal was actually brilliant. Like the way he struck that ball one time was very, very good. I think if it was not because of the performance of Noni Madueke, he would have been my man of the match. But he was actually good. He knew when to speed the game up. He knew when to slow the game down. He controlled the tempo of that game. He managed that game very well. He was like the coach. He was like the manager on the pitch. Like he was very, very good. His performance was very, very matured and all that. Like he's so good. He scored a header again in the second half, which was actually very good. For that, I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9. He was very, 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 very good in that game. I'll give I'll give Zubimendi a 9. I'll give Zubimendi a 9. His partner, who was his partner again? His partner, who was his partner again? Mikel Merino. After his performance for Spain during the in midweek, like he came up. I think that was one of the reasons why Arteta tried to squeeze him in. It was not even just because of he wanted to rest Declan Rice, but he was actually very good. The way he was actually controlling the game with his combinations with Zubimendi, he was actually for his forward passing. He had one chance in the first half where I felt like he should have done better, but he had a shot on goal. He did well. Like, he was very, very good in that game. For that, I would give Mikel Merino a 7/10 because he was decent in that game as well. On the front, in front of him was Martin Odegaard. He didn't have more time. Like, he had that injury earlier in the game. Before then, there was times where actually he was actually frustrating me with his passes and all that. I thought maybe that injury actually affected him in that game as well. So I'll just give Martin Odegaard, I'll give him a standard 5 because he didn't do too much in the game before he left the game. The front three, I will start with Noni Madueke. He was my man of the match. Noni Madueke was my man of the match in that game. He was brilliant. He was actually doing the work of a winger. He was doing exactly what you want from a winger. Someone who is coming to replace someone like Bukayo Saka has to keep that level up. And he did. He kept that level. His level in that game was very, very good. He was decent. I loved the way he was carried the game. I loved the way he carried on in that game. He was absolutely brilliant for me. To me, he was my man of the match. He was dribbling. He was ripping that defender off. The next time that defender comes to see Noni Madueke, I don't think he will want to be in that position again because the way he was ripped left, right, center. Inside, outside, like that was actually gone. His corner kicks was good and all that. The only thing I need him to do was work on his end product, try and shoot more, try and create space for yourself to shoot. That's what I think he needs to do. That's the difference between him and Saka. Saka will do all those things and look for opportunity to strike the ball, to have a shot on goal and all that. But I think his mindset is just to create. He also needs to work on his end product. But for that game, I actually loved what I see from Noni Madueke. For that, I'll give Noni Madueke a 9/10. And he's my man of the match for the game. On the left wing, Eberechi Eze, I've actually spoken about him before. He was actually doing what you expect from a winger. He was actually mature. The way he was actually playing, the way he was dribbling, he dribbled his man very well. He was actually very good. He had the assist, and that assist he did was exactly what you need from a matured winger. He knew when to dribble. He knew when to lay the ball off, and because he was very precise with his layoff, that's why Gyökeres had to score that goal. That's why he had that assist. For that, I'll give him an 8. I'll give Eberechi Eze an 8/10. And Victor Gyökeres, the first part of the game, he wasn't into the game. He was trying to get in. He was struggling. He was trying to get he was trying to get into the game, but I think it wasn't coming. But later on, I think if he found his feet, he was actually he got involved more in the second half. He was linking towards the end of the first half. He was linking up the play very well. And in the second half, that's when he came into life. Like, he was actually like a man possessed, because he was actually coming in, dribbling, passing the ball when he needs to, and that's when he was in the right place at the right time. For that ball from Eberechi is the way he had to score his goal. For that, I'll give Victor Gyökeres an 8/10 because he did his job. I think he had a shot on goal where he struck the bar as well. That was actually decent from Victor Gyökeres. And now to the substitutes. I'll start with Efim Nwaneri. I think he did well. He was very good. He came on. He was very lively. He was actually doing what we needed from a right winger. He was actually very, very decent. He was very, very good in that game. He was actually very good. The only thing I need him to learn more is just to know those end passes, those last passes that he needs to do, the final third passes, those killer passes to the strikers. I think he needs to learn that a bit. That was actually, for that, I'll give Efim Nwaneri a 7/10 because he was actually very, very good in that game. The way he was carrying the ball, he was carrying the ball. He was driving. He gets you up your feet when he's with the ball. For that, I will give Efim Nwaneri a 7/10. The next person that came on in that game, Declan Rice. Declan Rice was very good. He came. He just kept the tempo. He just kept the tempo. He was doing the right things. He was doing what you know of Declan Rice. He was doing what a Declan Rice would do in a game. He was breaking the lines. He was actually linking up well with Zubimendi when he came on. For that, I'll give Declan Rice, I'll give him a 6/10 because he didn't really do too much, but what he needed to do, he did them very well. Who again? I think Leandro Trossard. That was a very good cameo from Leandro Trossard. He came on. He kept the game. He came on for Eze and he kept the tempo up. He was actually very good. I think his first touch was his assist, which was actually for Zubimendi's second goal. And for that, I'll give Leandro Trossard a 7/10 because he was actually good. He was very good when he came on. And Martinelli, I don't think he did too much. There was one time he had a fast break. He had an opportunity to break, and before he got into the 18, he was covered and all that, but Martinelli didn't do too much for me. I think he didn't do anything too exciting because he was on the right hand side. He just kept the game ticking. I think it was just for him to just keep his fitness level up. For that, I would give Gabriel Martinelli a standard 5 because he didn't do anything special. He was just there. He just kept the level of the game where it was, and that I think that's all. And the manager, I think I'll give the manager a 10/10. For me, that's a 10/10 performance by the manager because his decision in that game was very, very good. I like the way he decided to rest some players for the way his squad rotation idea was very good. The way he decided to rotate the squad, the way he had to rest some players when he needed to, and all that. It was very good. He made the substitution the right time. The tactics was spot on. The way he controlled the game. I think I'll give the manager a 10/10. That was a 10/10 performance from the manager. And that's my match reaction and my player rating for the match between Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you agree with me with my match reaction and my player ratings, drop your comment section in drop your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.